So today we'll see the concept of social influence. Chapter
We will
6.
discuss.
In the first part, we'll see this social influence in the current research on social influence.
Description.
So social influence is defined as the process by which individuals change their feelings and behaviors as a result of some kind of social interaction with others who are perceived to be expert, desirable, and similar. Current research generally on social research focuses on these areas: minority influence in group settings, research on persuasion, elaboration likelihood model, heuristic systemic model, dynamic social impact theory, structural approach to social influence or social influence network theory, expectation states theory. We'll discuss each below. Minority influence is our first topic. Minority influence occurs when a minority subgroup attempts to change the majority. For instance, teachers influence the attitude of their students, political or religious leaders frequently influence the behavior of their followers. Minority influence is, for instance, in a class with 50 students, one or two students may influence the feelings, behaviors, or attitude of the rest 48 students. So every member of a group, unlike previous studies that focus on the role of or the impact of majority members of a group to the minority, current research on social psychology focuses on also studies the effects of these minority members of any social group to the majority. So every member of a group can influence others, at least to some degree. Studies have found this to be particularly true when minority group is consistent in what it presents to the majority. So when the minority group is expert, is consistent, or has clear argument, scientific argument as to what it proposes or it argues. So the minority members may have an influence, an impact on majority subgroup of a group. So the second one is this persuasion. Persuasion operates on the assumption that individuals process messages carefully whenever they are motivated and able to do so. So there are two types of theories that dominate modern persuasion research. The first is this elaboration likelihood model, and the second one is heuristic systemic models. So the elaboration likelihood model focuses on the amount and nature of thinking of a person, uh, and therefore it argues that the amount and nature or quality of thinking of a person or a target person affects the kind of persuasion, the degree of persuasion. So according to the emotion, this elaborate likelihood model, this thinking ability, abstract thinking of the target audience affects the degree of persuasion. So persuasion is affected by source credibility, message response, attention and motivation, affect level, channel and context. So the model is used for persuading people to make various types of healthier choices, for instance, in the treatment of cancer patients or in the treatment of addiction. So elaboration likelihood model is applied in the treatment of addiction in health psychology and in the treatment of cancer patients because it helps to boost prognosis by making the cancer patients follow healthy behavior. The fourth one is this heuristic systemic model. This heuristic systemic model focuses on the impact of argument strengths audience motivation, target audience motivation, or attention. So if the target audience has no attention or is inattentive or unmotivated or demotivated, then attention, because there is no attention, persuasion takes place through surface level impacts. Surface level impacts, not deeper level, because the target audience is not motivated or unable to attend carefully. So persuasion takes place through these heuristic routes, such as, for instance, nonverbal cues or source credibility. So persuasion through the heuristic route is temporary, not enduring, whereas persuasion through the systematic route follows these scientific arguments, abstract thinking, it's logical, because arguments, messages framed with using the systemic route takes the form of stating facts, proposing if-then thinking, proposing an abstract thinking, proposing statements based on scientific evidence. And target audience are also motivated and attentive. The persuasion resulting from using this technique or this route is enduring and permanent rather than that of the heuristic route. So the next one is this social impact theory. Social impact theory. Social impact theory is the presence of others. In social psychology, there are two kinds of presence: actual presence, actual physical presence, and psychological presence or imaginative presence. The imagined presence or physical presence of an individual or significant others affects our physiology, our temperature, body temperature, emotions, heartbeat, cognitive, our thinking, our emotions, and behaviors. So this is simply the result of the mere presence of others, either imagined or real or implied. So this social impact theory proposes that the impact of any information is a function of three components: the number of people having that information, immediacy, closeness in physical and mental space, and their strengths in silence of power. So it focuses on diffusion of beliefs through social systems. The sixth one is that of this social influence network theory. So actors start out with their own initial opinions, and then through network, their opinions will spread, forming a weighted average of other opinions in the group. This expectation state theory is the seventh one. So it states that members of a group develop expectations about future task performance of all group members and about themselves, about others within the group. So expectation, according to the expectation state theory, expectation guides interaction. Interaction is also guided by this expectation. So once expectations are developed, these expectations guide the group interaction. So group members have an equal amount of social influence over one another. So in this view, social structure is a result of individuals influencing each other in a dynamic way. All in all, there is a localized culture of beliefs within communication networks. So these are some of the self-assessment questions. I have developed these self-assessment questions based on Bloom's taxonomy, knowledge level, comprehension level questions, comprehension level questions. This again, this is also comprehension level questions, application level questions, 4 and 5. This application level questions, analysis level questions, these analysis level questions again, synthesis level questions, and synthesis level questions. We'll see, for instance, the first two, and you'll see each of these questions. For instance, according to this dynamic social impact theory, this focuses on dynamic social impact theory, emphasizes which of the following: central route to persuasion, central route to persuasion, or central route persuasion, the spread of influence based on proximity in communication patterns, unconscious imitations, imitation of celebrities. What makes a minority group influential in group decision making? Aggressiveness and numbers, repetition, B, repetition and conformity, C, consistency, confidence, avoidance, avoiding appearing rigid, D, appealing to emotions only. According to expectation states theory, which individual is more likely to exert influence in group setting? The most humorous member, a person with perceived competence and high status, someone who agrees with the minority, the person who speaks the most. So B ነው አይደለም እዚህ ጋር ለምሳሌ the answer is B here, third one. Application level questions. In a workplace team, one junior employee consistently presents innovative ideas and maintains confident, consistent tone. Over time, others begin to adopt their ideas. This reflects majority influence, informational influence, minority influence, obedience to authority. What kind of influence is this? So you have to just think of this one. A political campaign uses a combination of, for this one, the answer is minority influence, because it says confident, consistent tone. If minority groups present their ideas in a consistent and confident tone, then it's more likely that they will influence other members of the group, the majority, that is. The fifth one, a political campaign uses a combination of expert testimonials and emotional appeals in advertisements. This strategy reflects principles from central processing only, dynamic impact theory, elaboration likelihood model, obedience training. So you have to focus, you have to read this one and check the answers after you have deep read on the chapter, on this part of the 6th chapter. First, read deeply this part of the 6th chapter, current research on conformity, and then attempt all these questions. They are critical. According to dynamic social impact theory, clusters of similar attitudes within a group are likely to emerge when members rarely communicate, communication is uniform, members interact frequently, and are physically or socially close. There is only one strong leader. To test dynamic social, this is synthesis level question, more advanced level question. To test dynamic social impact theory in a digital setting, what would be a key variable to manipulate number of minorities in the group, strengths of peripheral cues, frequency of communication within clusters, number of survey items. So these are 9 questions. Thank you for your attention.